There we go. Villalobos, the quarterback for Garfield, takes the offense up now. Split formation in the backfield. Mondo Figueroa again goes up the middle for a couple of yards. It's going to be second down, and it looks like it'll be 8 yards to go from the Garfield 34. Runs one more time, finds a little bit of running room at the other end, but is caught from behind there. Give him a couple of yards on that one. It'll be third down, and looks like it'll be about 4 yards to go for the first. Mondo once again up the middle. I don't think he's going to get it. He's going to be about a yard or so short of the first down.
Looks like he was stopped in there really right off the hand up there from 76. That was Juan Lopez.
Field. Juan Fernandez on the near side, set back to receive the football at the other end. For Roosevelt, you've got Juan Pimentel waiting for the punt. End over end. Pimentel with the fair catch. And Roosevelt, for the first time this half, will take over on their own 34-yard line. Roosevelt with the ball on their own 34-yard line. We've got just under 9 minutes left to play in the third quarter here. Roosevelt trailing 7-0. Madrid back to pass. What a great defensive play there by number 34, Juan Villalobos. See what Madrid decides to do here. He's going to try and air it out one more time. Nope, there he goes up the middle, has some yardage. He'll make it close to the first down where he is stopped. Give him a gain of 9, I believe, but it's going to depend on where the officials spot the ball. It's 3rd and 1 for Roosevelt. Madrid only gaining 9 yards on the play, coming up a little short. You're going to have to bring this one back. A motion penalty there as Roosevelt started before the snap of the ball. So I figure this one's going to be at least a 3rd and 6 play for the Riders. Ball on their own 39-yard line, I should say. Fernandez in motion once again. That's Juan Pimentel want the ball.
And Emmanuel Rodriguez.
That's Jesus Sisati. I think it's 1st and 10 for the Riders on their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, flag thrown.
Getting a little too anxious there. Juan Hernandez stepping over the neutral zone there. Madrid caught in the backfield. He's not going anywhere. Hernandez making up for stepping over the line by catching Madrid and throwing him for a loss. Gives it to Fernandez, and look who's there.
There he is, his namesake.
Hernandez is right there again. He hasn't fooled. In fact, he's been in the backfield a lot for Garfield, going in there playing some great defensive ball up front, and that's exactly what Endau was afraid of, is that Garfield physically has a huge advantage on the offensive and defensive lines. The passing game really has been ineffective. Madrid goes back to pass. He's being flushed out, and he is going to be nailed for a huge loss back to the Roosevelt 33-yard line. Holds and stalls.
An interesting play right there by the Riders, and I wonder if the officials caught that. What we're going to look at here, I don't see any flags
on the punt return. 4.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter here. 7-0 Bulldogs. That's Mondo again. He's been the workhorse for Garfield tonight. He takes it up to around the 43, 44-yard line. Figueroa one more time, finds some running room. He makes it out to the 48-yard line there where he has stopped. Gain of about 4 yards there.
If it's not up the middle, look for him going to the right side, or like they say, student body left or right.
There he is. And he is stopped for a loss in the backfield. What a huge play there by number. It's up on top, number 32. That's going to be Richard Campos there with the stop, getting Mondo for a huge loss there. Fernandez on the far side over there.
Juan
Pimentel on the far side. And it's going toward him. He's going to run with it. Picks it up at the 26-yard line. Gets a little running room. He makes it up to the 20, checked out the 36-yard line, and that is where Roosevelt will take over. 1st and 10 on the 26 for Roosevelt. Fernandez in motion. We got a little razzle-dazzle here. The flea flicker. Who is it going out to? It is incomplete to Pimentel.
Mark, 1:51 left in the third quarter.
Madrid back to pass. He's got Pimentel right there, and it's in his hands, and he drops it. Fernandez in motion again. Madrid going back to pass deep. Set up the screen beautifully, but again,
just another miscue and a failed chance there.
Fair catch called by, is that Figueroa?
We've got number 36 there for Garfield.
No, it's Frank Fernandez.
No gains.
Mondo once again off the far tackle there. He's stacked up at about the 35-yard line. I think we'll give him a gain of 5, 2nd and 5 from the Garfield 35. Mondo on the draw play. Finds a little bit of room, but he is stopped there for no gain. It'll be 3rd and 4 from the 36, and we've got some penalty markers there. Single setback for the Bulldogs. Ernie Monza going over on the far side. He will be stopped way short of the 1st down. Roosevelt will get the ball back, and we are coming down to the end of the 3rd quarter here. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter here at East Los Angeles College. We've got a pretty good defensive battle going on here. After the end of 3, Garfield leads it 7-0 over the Rough Riders of Roosevelt. Ending of the 4th quarter here, Garfield on top 7-0. They scored that one way back in the 1st quarter. Ernie Mons with a 28-yard run to put Garfield on top 7-0. We've got a fake punt here. Jesse Villalobos finds some running room. This is going to be a huge gain for Garfield.
Seen on a consistent basis, it happens, but wait a minute.
We've got a penalty marker down. Forget it. We're going to bring this one back and do it all over again.
Anything goes. You're in the last quarter. Oh my God! Here's a bad snap.
Oh, here we go.
And this
Jesse trying to kick it off, and let's see what happens here.
Turnover.
And Rough Riders have it. What a break! This is the break they've been looking for all night. The Riders have the ball on Garfield's own 23-yard line, 1st and 10. This is, Rico, what they've been waiting for all night. After all of the mistakes in the 3rd quarter, they finally catch a break, and now they've got a chance to tie this game up. It is 1st and 10, Rough Riders on the Garfield 23.
And let's
going back to pass, short out, and it is intercepted. No, incomplete.
Nearly intercepted.
Nearly picked off there by Juan Villalobos. We got Soria in the backfield there. Madrid going back to pass. And he is nailed for a loss there. As you look down towards the other end of the end zone, he had Fernandez wide open, but he couldn't see him. The blocking simply broke down. So it is 3rd and a bunch. Fernandez in motion again. Madrid looking for somebody downfield. He is going to feel the rush here. Throws it incomplete. The intended receiver is Fernandez, but he just had to get rid of the ball to avoid the rush. But it could be the ball game right here. Madrid going back to pass, looking for somebody. And he finds
his man.
That's Fernandez for a 1st down, 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Now let's hold up on that, Eddie.
I apologize for that. They had to get to the 13-yard line. So Garfield takes over on down, or the muff punt. Looks like Anthony Lopez on the carry there. There's Ernie Monza going on the far sideline, gets a little running room, and he makes it close to the 1st down.
Southeastern Conference games. Okay, we've got an indication by the referee, a holding penalty, major penalty against the Bulldogs.
Villalobos over center. Contreras in motion. Little razzle-dazzle back there, and there is George Contreras with the patch. He makes it all the way up to the 22-yard line where he is knocked out of bounds. What else can we tell you? They're making mistakes left and right. But Villalobos going back to pass. He is flushed out. Little running room there, and he is taken down at the 29-yard line. Villalobos over the center. Hands it off to Monza, who is looking for a little running room. He is stopped there in mid-heart by Salvador Vegarra. Third
We're coming down to about 6:45 left in the ball game.
Little mix-up in the backfield, but here we go. Mondo's got some running room on the far side. He's to the 50, the 40, the 45, and he is knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line on the 57th meeting between these two teams. Mondo again. Here he goes, right up the middle for some huge yardage down to the 22-yard line. You've got Lanza and Figueroa on the backfield. Villalobos looking for somebody. Eludes one tackler. Who does he find out there? Look at the shot there for some running room for Villalobos. It is first and goal at the 10-yard line for Garfield. Mondo Figueroa goes up past the right tackle.
Now they're inside the 10. And
they're inside the 10. Give him a couple of yards. Manzo and Figueroa back there. Give the ball to Mondo on the delay. He finds some room and he
still
falls forward all the way down to the 2-yard line. Give him a gain of 7. As are the running game, they're the 1-2 punch for Garfield tonight. And Manzo with the 28-yard run in the first quarter to put Garfield on the board. And right now it's been all Mondo Figueroa after that. He has been the workhorse for the Bulldogs, and Roosevelt just hasn't found a way to stop him. There have been some good defensive stops by the Rough Rider defense, but so far it has been all Garfield. Got the flea flicker, Villalobos all alone. Touchdown, Garfield. Build on their 7-0 lead. First place in the Southeastern League is at stake tonight. That's who Villalobos calls. Got the flea flicker, Villalobos all alone. Touchdown, Garfield.
The Bulldogs, 14.
There was nobody covering Villalobos, and look at George Contreras on the far side jumping up and down. It is 13-0 with 4:40 left to play in the ball game.
Produced a winner. What a great call.
The extra point is good. It is 14-0. What an impressive drive. Let's take you back a few minutes. Roosevelt blocked a Garfield punt, had it on the Garfield 23-yard line, and they were in business. They couldn't capitalize. Garfield gets the ball back. Some key runs by Villalobos and Figueroa, and driving it down deep into Roosevelt territory. And now it's 14-0 with a trick play, a little razzle-dazzle to get this one going, and it looks as if Roosevelt is going to fall to 4-2, 3-2 in league play, and Garfield is going to go up to 4-2 overall with a 4-1 league record. And at least right now, we don't know what the lock score is going to be, but right now it looks as if Garfield's going to be able to claim at least a share of first place in the league.
And Sid, getting back to analyzing that Roosevelt possession when it was deep in Garfield territory, you got to wonder what Coach Endow was thinking. He called 3 or 4 consecutive pass plays and really resulted in nothing. And
you really can't blame the coach on that one. Madrid had the passes there. You cannot blame him. You hit the receivers in the wrong place. You hit them in the hands. 3 key drops. Let's see what Roosevelt can do. They are running out of time, and the mistakes continue.
They've got to have the big play right now. Get them into the end zone, 90 yards away.
Madrid trying to get something going over there on the far sideline. Let's see. Madrid back to pass, looking for somebody, doesn't find anyone, decides to run with it. He's tripped up, falls forward for the first down. Let's give him 4 yards on that one. He'll make it up to the 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Riders there at their own 28. Go 1st and 10 for the Riders. Madrid going back to pass. That one is complete to Pimentel. It'll be short of the first down.
Going with that no huddle.
3:45 left to play in the ball game, and the Riders are trailing by 14. Fernandez with the reception. He goes out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. He's pushed out of bounds there by Danny Aguilar.
Again, we remind our viewers you're watching a special sports production on Buenavision cable casting the big game here, Roosevelt versus Garfield, 1992.
Okay, it's 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Roosevelt. Madrid going back to pass. Finds Fernandez there. Give him a few yards there, a gain of about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 45 as we get the chop going with the Garfield crowd. Madrid going back. He just throws it out of bounds. That pass intended for Jesse Cesati. That they have. 3rd and 5 from the 45. Madrid goes back. It is nearly intercepted there by Garfield. Islas on the near side, Pimentel on the far side. Madrid going back to pass. 4th down. Islas intercepted there by number 26. Hector Villarreal cuts in.
But hold everything, Sid. Hold everything. We've got a pass interference. Flag dropped on that play. It's gone. So. Okay, we have a little bit of action going on in the stands.
But let's worry about the action down here on the field.
We're down to about the 2:47 mark left in the ball game.
Back to pass. Incomplete pass, threw it behind Jesus Cesati. It's now 2nd and 15 now from the 45-yard line for the Riders. Madrid going back to pass again. And he is flushed out of the pocket and nailed there. He throws the ball incomplete.
Number 43.
You can credit Richard Sandoval for applying the pressure there. It seems like Sandoval's been in Madrid's face all night long. By 14 to nothing. Garfield's defense has not given up anything. Madrid back to pass, looking for somebody. Over to Islas for maybe a gain of 4.
But still a long way to go.
Long way to go.
Down. Another 10 yards, 11 yards or so before they can get that first.
Here, 4th and 10 from the 40. Madrid going back to pass.
Has a man there.
Has a man there, but it's incomplete.
Okay.
Garfield takes over on downs, and with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to play, I think it's safe to say that could just very well be the ball game. And looks like Garfield's homecoming is going to be a sweet one. Hand off the ball again to Mondo. It's all academic now as we approach the 2-minute mark.
The Southeastern Conference, how can you say it? Who's got the lock on it right now, or is there going to be one? Will there be another two-way tie? Do we look at Locke? Do we look at Locke and Garfield now?
Well, I'm sure Locke's going to have something to do with that. And Monzo takes the ball over to the far side, gets a little block. He's got some room. He's over to the 40-yard line where he had stopped. Does he go out of bounds? No, he stays inbounds, goes into Garfield or Roosevelt territory to the 39-yard line. He's been able to stop it, but so far it's been all Garfield. You got to give game balls to the offensive line. Mondo Figueroa, he stopped there one of the few times that he's been stopped.
Mm-hmm. And I think we'll see an interesting stat in terms of Garfield throwing the ball. 1 completion, 1 touchdown. And we got to go back to that trick play. That was the pass.
That was the pass.
And there you have it.
And that is it. Garfield wins the 1992 East LA Classic 14 to nothing.
Defense just really tells you that, hey, they've done their job. And at least for the Garfield side, the defense holding Roosevelt to a shutout. So 3 out of the last 4 games go to Garfield, and you got to say they can lay really a good solid claim as being the kings of East LA
for 1992.
And they may be establishing a pattern here. 3 out of 4 is not bad.
Well, they did it on both ends of the ball, and it's like as we mentioned, as soon as they scored that last touchdown, that was it. That was all she wrote for Garfield, and my hat's off to both coaches. Endell said it. Garfield comes in with a huge physical advantage, and they took advantage, and they exploited it.
And as you see there on your monitor, on your TV sets, now it's back to being really good homeboys, good friends to each other. The community is well diversified. Everybody knows everybody, and it's really a fitting tribute to see the kids out there now congratulating each other in a form of sportsmanship and fellowship. And hey, they're going on to the next game. They're going to go back to class, get back into what they need to do in their routines, and hopefully just prepare for that next ball game. And we say right on to both Garfield High, Roosevelt High, job well done to both coaching staffs, the student bodies, the administration. Hats off again to Maria Tostada, the principal of Garfield High School, Daryl Turner, and all the
who
people
helped us out tremendously.
And we thank them extremely so from the staff of Buenavision Cable Television, Channel 6 and 56 for East LA.
All right. Game, Roosevelt goes in there, they block the punt, and you guys were able to hold them off.
It was our defense once again, and it's our defense that came through a lot, gave us good field position, and gave us opportunity to drive and score. And I'd like to know what happened with that airplane.
Yeah. What are you gonna? All right. Coach Robinson, nothing real fancy, just good execution, good ball control offense got you this one.
Well, that's right. We got lucky. It's just they had a very good team. We were lucky to win this one. We got a couple breaks and they didn't, and we won.
Right off the bat, you get a touchdown, and all of a sudden it's the defense that's dictating everything. Did you feel a sense that it was going to come down to one key turnover or one break that was going to make the difference in this ball game tonight?
This game is always a defensive game, and it always has to do with one key play somewhere, sometime, somehow.
You're moving the ball real good with Mondo and everybody, and then you decided to use a little fancy play towards the end to get the second touchdown. Was this just basically a setup? Figure that they were ripe for this play?
No doubt about it. They were.
What was it? What made you call that one?
Well, it was a play we've been practicing for 2 weeks. We hadn't had an opportunity to use it, but that was the perfect time to use it.
What can you say about Mondo and Monzo, Figueroa and Monzo tonight, the 1-2 punch in the backfield?
They're outstanding kids. They're both fine students, and they're good athletes, and they're both tough kids.
Well, you've got at least a share of first place in the league.
I don't know what happened with Bell and Locke, so we'll find that out.
Congratulations.
Okay,
the losing end of tonight's big game, but Coach, let's review the game in your own words.
Okay, they were able to drive the ball on us. We came in with a game plan that we were going to try to stop their running game, and in the first half they were able to do it one score, and we couldn't stop them on that drive. But you know, that was our game plan, to try to stop them, and we were fortunate to be, you know, hold them to 7-0, and at that point I thought we had a chance.
Did that first drive that they had surprise you?
No, but that's the kind of team they are. They have the capabilities of doing that, and for us to get going, we have to be able to stop them right away.
A game of, they say, of either miscues or a game of big plays, and right at your first possession, you were on the drive, and unfortunately there was a penalty in there.
Yes, and that's part of the game. We try to execute, and we made a number of mistakes, but you have to give the team credit from Garfield that they over-dominated us.
After that, it became like a standoff, virtual standoff from both sides. The defenses seemed to buckle under and knuckle down and know what they had to do until maybe late in the fourth quarter with Mondo breaking loose on that busted play.
Right, and we worked on a lot of those things, but again, it's to his credit that he's able to do that. He can hide behind that big line, and he has the speed to get outside, and that's what was able to do that.
One other question in terms of analyzing the game, Coach. You had an opportunity on their busted play on the bad snap on fourth down. You got a hand on block that kick in possession, and then what was your strategy you're thinking then?
Well, what we wanted to do is try to get the score, and we tried with the pass. In the first half we didn't have the ball much, but we tried to run the ball, and we felt that we could possibly run or pass the ball on them, and they played outstanding defense. Our receivers couldn't get off the ball, and we had trouble trying to block them, and our quarterback scrambled all night long. So,
Coach, let's look ahead real quick into the remainder of the season. You said in our previous interview it looked a little tough because you had all the big guys coming up.
Right. We saw Bell today, and we saw Locke today, and those are two of the powers, and they are big and physical, and they are teams to beat. And Southgate and Fremont have the potential to score a lot of points, and so the remaining part of the year is going to be crucial.
Coach, we want to wish you the best of luck, and again congratulate you on a valiant performance here in the big game. Again, the community always wins when Roosevelt and Garfield hook up, and we want to wish you the best for the rest of the season, and we want to see you in the playoffs.
Okay, thank you. We're going to work our hardest to do there.
Okay, Coach.
And as long as there's a chance, we're always going to.
We want to see both teams make it into the playoffs representing the Southeastern Conference. And Lord willing, you'll be there.
Okay,
Thanks,
you.
Coach.
Thank
and
you.
Good luck to you. Okay, that's going to wrap it up here with our post-game interview with head coach Dave Endow. And we're going to give you our closing in just 1 minute. Okay, so stand by.
And that'll do it for the 1992 version of the East LA Classic. As we talked during the week, defense was going to dictate this, but did you think that Garfield was ever able to throw up the shutout?
I'll tell you what, Sid, I was expecting really a higher scoring game, but then again, on the hope that it would be a lot of excitement, but again, the kids buckled down, and it's just bottom line.
Well, that'll do it for our broadcast from tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. For Rico Cabrera, I'm Sid Garcia. We'll see you hopefully next year at the Rose Bowl for the 1993 East LA Classic. The final score here tonight, Garfield 14, Roosevelt nothing. Good night.